Why does the gender wealth gap still exist? Is playing safe costing women wealth? What does real financial independence look like? Are women approaching investing differently today? What should women investors do and avoid? Hello and welcome to Investors Hangout, your weekly guide to making smarter investment decisions. This series is brought to you by Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund and Value Research. Now, more women today are earning than ever before. We're leading teams, we're launching startups, managing households, and we're also building careers. But here's the uncomfortable question. Are we building wealth at the same pace as we're building our careers? Because earning is one thing and securing our financial future is something totally different. So today we're talking about not just starting an SIP, but financial agency. And to talk about this in detail, we have with us our CEO, Dhirendra Kumar. Welcome, Dhirendra.
Thank you.
Let's begin this conversation with more and more women joining the workforce and earning, but there's this wealth gap that still exists. Why is that so?
The reason for this wealth gap could be many. One is that it could be behavioral, and it could be structural too. Women face a career gap. They are also doing multitasking. So managing finances or thinking harder about it might not be a very big priority. You are just too busy, grappling with many things going on. Though they may turn out to be more prudent investors, at least prudent in spending or prudent in managing it. But unless you think that you have to take charge, they tend to delegate this. That okay, this has been a male bastion or domain, or so in that sense, having income, building or being being successful professionally is one aspect. Managing that money, growing your wealth, translating that income into converting your regular cash flow into something sizable and being worried about it or being able to contribute to it. I don't think they think in terms of controlling their finances. And that could be one of the reasons. And there are odds against them. They are going to live longer, and they will be facing the career pause or in between to rear a family. There could be they might be doing multitasking, which will be prohibitive for many of them to pursue the career as freely as their male counterpart. Despite all that, they succeed. So I think there is something going on, which is more in the behavioral or the whatever is the traditional way that you delegate it to the male in the family.
Right. We've also seen that many financially independent women, they say that I don't want to take unnecessary risks. So that sounds responsible, but is that mindset a strength or limitation?
That mindset is quite understandable. That is not only about women, that is about Indian investors generally. That is rooted in the financial education. One is that our educational system does not provide for any financial understanding. Like SIP is looking like a great educational initiative. The understanding of equity, the understanding about equity, and most of the understanding is coming from a very sketchy, information, pretending to be educational without the framework. So I think that is one that is applicable for most Indians. Second is that historically, the way people experience equity or the long-term investment and optimizing your investment, and without a framework, it becomes a speculative. You can actually make a great investment, but it becomes speculation if you don't understand why you're investing it. The moment you do it with understanding, there is no difference between speculation and investment when it comes to choosing that investment. But if you do it because everybody else is doing it, it is speculation. If you do it that for the reason that this is an investment, I'm going to hold it for 5 years for this reason, because I'm hopeful that this is how things will turn out to be, that actually becomes an investment. You start thinking like an owner. So there is very little difference, and both investor who is speculating and who is actually an investor and investing, they will both earn the same return. But the unfortunate bit is that the speculative guy will not be able to hang around, will not be able to stick around, and he will not be able to benefit from that. So absence of framework, absence of understanding, and if they are able to really absorb a little bit of how things work and where is the risk, where is what is the real risk of loss, what is and many a times, everybody thinks that volatility is risk, which is not. If you're investing for 20 years, you don't have to watch it every 5 minutes. How do you reduce the risks? So risk management, understanding risk, definition of risk, and why things, and where you should not take risk, what part of your money you should never take risk, and how to be prudent about risk. And I think women could be far better geared to deal with it than a person who's just trying to prove to somebody that he has done it well.
From our personal experience also, we've seen that be it the viewership patterns or the event participation or subscriber data that we have, we see that women are much less, women consume financial content much less than their male counterparts. So, and there's also this talk about a confidence gap. What do you have to say about that when it comes to investing?
Being financially aware and being knowledgeable about things, or being perceptive about things, or decoding things, how they work in the financial arena, is very different from that what we think is financial confidence. Most financial confidence, when we think of that, is basically bragging. Bragging, right, derived from not very sound foundations. Knowing that, because most of the bragging happens that I bought this and it went up by 5 times. That I don't think is rooted in facts. Investments take time. Once in a while, if it actually turns out to be one such thing that you invested and it went up, a good part of it could be a good market or a good luck than your plan or design or a strategy. Women not being aware, not bragging about it, temperamentally being different, being thoughtful about it, could be a great advantage. And I think all we need is some framework on which their investments can be rooted. And they should be very happy. If you are listening to this, feel very happy that you don't have the bragging rights. Good that you are not, you are less confident, and you are more, you can be more deliberate about it.
Now, going beyond numbers, what does financial independence actually mean? Can you put that into words for?
First is to understand that money is not wealth. Money gives you options. Money gives you choice. Your choice to do what you like, choice to not do what you don't like. I think that's a very fundamental freedom that you can derive. Financial education, financial independence is not about accumulating wealth. It has to be meaningful enough so that it can give you all these options.
So, in your personal experience and interactions with investors, have you seen any difference in the attitude of women investors over the years?
Oh, magical difference.
Okay.
All people talk of all kind of empowerment. There is absolutely no empowerment unless it is financial empowerment. If you are not financially empowered, if you don't have the financial framework, all other empowerment is lip service. Their self-worth gets redefined. It is confidence derived from that, okay, now my financial net worth is X times my annual income. And if that translates into something which gives you a buffer, because it has a dramatic impact.
So finally, if somebody is already investing, a woman is already investing, if you have to give a checklist to her, what all should she assess as a yearly thing? What would you say?
Male and female, they have to do the same thing. Remain diversified. Don't panic. Make sure that it's a long-term investment and invested in equity. 5 out of 10 years, you will be in a situation that if you look at it closely, you will be fearful. Don't get fearful because your goal is away. Make sure that your short-term money is not invested. So just check for these, and be prudent about it. Be methodical about it. Make sure that you are investing every month. Make sure that you are increasing your investments every year. So do these 5-7 things and try and link it to a goal. Otherwise, you will suddenly start looking at getting inspired by going for that holiday. Your friend posted picture on Instagram.
So we've spoken about what we should do. What is it that we should not do?
One is that don't get inspired by the guys who are bragging that they know the markets, they have decoded it. Trading is not investment. Second is that get the long-term perspective. You are very well configured. I've seen my grandmother or my mother. They always had the money, even when we thought that the money has exhausted. They always had the backup money. So you are well configured, and speculation is not investment. Think long term and configure yourself. So don't get distracted by the noise. Don't get distracted by the Instagram reel which says that, oh, come, I'll help you do the magic. Don't go for magic. Go for the real thing. Understand a little bit, and keep away from the nonsense. That itself will take care of things.
And I think many of us are already doing it, because from my circle, I can tell you that less and less women absorb all this noise. We are very careful with our money, and it's just about taking ownership, and high time we do that. So that's all we have for you in today's episode. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.